bad things happen to good people because bad things happened. And
Yeah.
if you have a choice to prevent something bad from happening to a good person, it won't.
Hey yo, they got the urinal with the Terminator technology? That's crazy. I feel like I don't want to use this urinal.
I think I remember the moment I was like I was leaning on the counter at work, and I was stressed about something that was happening to a friend, and I was like, it doesn't really make sense to me that good things happen to good people, because it can't be possible that bad things happen to bad people. That just can't be the way it is.
Sure.
Like, bad things happen to good people. Like, I'm not quite sure about good things happening to bad people. But like, also I get that that's very black and white thinking.
Well,
And
yeah. Well, what I'm hearing is that like the theory of karma doesn't make sense the way it is said. And we want to take these things literally, or we want to at least be able to understand them, because we talk about all kinds of other like yoga, subcontinent philosophy style stuff, and we usually come around to being like, oh yeah, no, this is legit. But then there's karma. It's like the odd one out. That's just like, no, man, like that sounds like copium.
But like, is it because it sometimes feels like it's the only thing that makes sense, because determinism. Like, karma is like, any action has like leads to something else. Like, in that sense, it makes perfect sense. And it's kind of the only thing that makes sense.
That's actually where I was going to start with you, is like, every action does lead to something else. And then the other way of saying that is everything you do leads to an action. You can't do something without it having a consequence, right?
No.
Not right?
I was actually talking about this. No, I think that's correct.
Okay.
I was actually talking about this with my therapist. We kind of like started to spiral slightly at the end of our last session. We like went a little over, and we were just kind of like talking about stuff, which is kind of fun. But I think both of us were like, oh, we need to stop the session. This is like, we've taken it beyond where it's useful.
Right.
And he was trying to say, like, not every choice is important. Like, not every choice has to be moralized. Not every choice is like... And I'm like, well, every choice has an impact. It could just be very small, but everything you do has an...
So like that's gonna have a profound effect on your psyche, what you tell yourself about that fact. Whether like sort of like it doesn't matter even if it's true, but I decided to have soda while I'm recording this podcast, so I just fucking burped. Whether or not it's true, everything, if you try to think through every decision, you're just going to be anxious, right? Right?
That's what I think that's the point that he was trying to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was like, I don't think it stresses me out to think that every decision has an impact, because I just know that the impact could be marginal, could be so small.
I don't think of the...
If I'm thinking like...
Yeah.
If I'm thinking like, if I'm trying to be in the moment, like exist in the moment, it's kind of easier for me to think like, okay, well, what would be the impact of the things that I could do right now? It's kind of helpful to stay in the moment in that way.
100%. It's weird how that's the opposite of anxiety. No.
Yeah. Like, he was trying to limit my anxiety, but I was like, no, this is actually fine.
Yeah. So that's actually like... That's actually like a decent definition of karma, is that you are entitled to your actions and not the consequences of your actions. So what your therapist sounded like he was saying is something like, don't get too hung up in the consequences of your actions, because that'll make you anxious. That's kind of what anxiety is, right? Thinking about what's going to happen if I do this. Is that how you experience anxiety?
No.
Oh, that's how I experience it. How does anxiety feel? What does anxiety feel like for you? I guess you weren't actually feeling anxious anywhere in this story, so maybe that's not relevant.
Well, we had been talking about anxiety. I'm trying to think about the answer to that question. Mostly I'm anxious about something that happened in the past and its impact on the future. So it's something that I cannot control anymore because it's already happened. And I'm worried about how that thing is going to impact the future.
Yeah, that actually doesn't sound
Which
like
is-
anxiety. That sounds like depression.
You know what? This is what Mom said. Which is kind of crazy.
She cooked.
Well, no, I
Did she
just don't
cook?
agree. I
It feels
don't
like
agree.
anxiety to you.
Absolutely, and it is. It's preoccupation with the future.
Right.
It's in the body. It's a bodily feeling, and I understand what depression feels like. I've been
Okay, I believe you.
diagnosed with clinical depression, various points.
Right. I believe you.
So it doesn't feel like that.
It's not. It is like what you said. So you're like, what did I hear you say? You are focused on how stuff that you've done in the past is going to affect your future.
Yeah. But that is not being in the moment and focusing on the
Right.
choices that you can make. It's paralyzing. It's like this moment doesn't matter
The difference
to the
in
point of even like making it not real.
the difference in what your therapist said karma was and what you said, or no, how your therapist described like what you did with the concept of karma, or what you might do, and how you described what you do with the idea of karma, is like that difference is what people call dharma. Dharma is like, look at my situation. I always say, look at the things I have right now. And then what is my responsibility given whatever that is?
Yeah, I think anxiety for me is like a trickster demon and makes me think that I'm doing just that. But the problem with me is I moralize my choices when they don't need to be moralized.
I don't understand
I
the
take
difference.
Not every decision needs to be weighed as moral or immoral.
How do you know which is which?
Or maybe not.
No, maybe. I don't know. How do you know which is
That's
which?
the thing.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of feel like you just feel like it is.
Yeah.
Emotivism. Like, I'm not sure what morals are other than the things that many people seem to think are right and wrong, seem to feel are right and wrong. Anyway, I can't really describe this phenomenon because it doesn't really make sense, and it's not really what I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
This whole moralizing decisions thing, because I do think that things are right and wrong.
You want to talk about karma
But
and like the just world fallacy?
yeah, I mean, right. Yeah, because like, okay, karma is part of it's a religious thing.
Yeah.
And so there's this idea that like good things happen to good people. And I'm like, that can't be how it works.
Because it just isn't.
It just isn't.
Right.
Bad things happen to good people all the time. And
Yeah.
it can't be a result of what you did in your past life. Because I don't believe in past lives like that. I don't know.
Right.
Should I? Like, It just that can't be the way the world operates. Like, I refuse to believe that.
Yeah. It would be kind of disgusting, right? If that's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, like, it would be like the idea of predetermination. Like, God has already determined what souls are going to go to heaven before they are born, before they do anything with their lives. Like,
Yeah.
that's gross. It's just, that's not.
I like to say there's no such thing as good and bad, but there is such a thing as right and wrong.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
with karma, what happens is, you take an action in the present. Because that's the only thing that can ever happen, is you take an action in the present. That is literally the only verb in the universe. Right? The only combination of things that lead to a verb is you, present, action. Right? Because, I guess like stars die and stuff, but you have no access to that. The only thing that you have access to is you taking an action in the present. And that creates like a ray of effect. Like one cause, it creates this ray of effect. And it sort of sails off into the universe. And sometimes it like bounces off of things, and sometimes it like refracts and becomes like a different color. Sometimes it splits, and very often it splits, and then it splits again, it splits a million times. But there's this one ray that you created. What do you think of that analogy?
I think that makes sense. Like, okay, I feel like I don't really know what we're talking about, because I don't think you believe in the karma of, I don't think you believe in the type of karma that's like reincarnation and like your soul is moving up through like some class system.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's not necessarily a question
about.
of what I believe in. It's a question of how much I understand. Right? So when it's possible biologically to find the line where a mother's cells and a father's cells become the child's cells. It's this moment of conception, right? So sort of biologically, we can tease apart one organism from another pretty easily. But what you can't really do is figure out whether we are different organisms, or whether everything on Earth is sort of one living thing that started to divide and divide and divide and eventually speciated, but it's still just one organism.
Yes. What? No.
What? Give me the
All right,
give me
my
the no
brain's
and
not
give me the
working.
yes. That's okay. I don't give a
I
fuck.
just sure there people say that like souls divided, like
I'm not talking
when
about
the
souls.
like
One of the things that I like about yoga is you can approach it from a standpoint that doesn't have to be wishy-washy. You can build concrete understanding on concrete understanding, and you get back to something that you can recognize as a philosophical concept. But you can actually just build it from very concrete understandings. You don't have to be spiritual.
how could we be one organism?
Well, the first cell divided, and then eventually it speciated, where its DNA was different. But that cell divided, and its children divided, and its children divided, and its children divided. And that was like the grandmother, right? So we are all divisions of this one organism that's just divide, 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 divide. Every living thing on Earth.
Then organisms are not real. They're just categories we make up.
Even way more than you even meant that. Like the hairy edges between species, like the juggling, the nomenclature juggling of like figuring out where one species ends and the next begins. It's all just decided by human beings. How much genetic difference represents a new species is a decision that we made.
Yeah, I mean, there's the classic argument against evolution of like, tell me when a new species forms. Show me
Yeah.
a new species. I'm like, I cannot, because these are all just categories that we make up. They are arbitrary categories. In post, you can go and look and say, okay, this is different DNA. But that's not the way it works. Like, you can't pinpoint when a new species starts until you're studying that species, because it already exists.
So I would say that the thing about reincarnation is it's not something that you understand. It's something that you understand once you are able to forget things or like let go of stuff that you thought was true. It's like you let go of enough understandings and then you start to get it.
I don't understand how anything meaningful could carry from one life to another life, because
Here's how, okay? Because let's say you started that ray, and that ray doesn't travel at the speed of light unless it's like shining a light in somebody's eyes, right? That's a cause and effect. But that ray keeps bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. And it's very easy for that ray to outlive you. The karma is the thing that outlives the person, not the person. And this starts to make sense once we sort of are able to let go of the idea that we're all different beings. Or when we're willing to accept that we're all not connected, but like part of a bigger being. And then the one more step from that, if I really want to lose you, if I just want to really lose you, is there's no line either between not alive and alive. Like, all those lines are invented too.
that makes more sense to me. Kind of makes I don't even know if I want to get into that. Never mind. That makes more sense to me. We decide when life ends. We decide when life begins.
Yeah, so I
It's
even meant like
arbitrary.
the origin, the onset of life on Earth was this process of just physics, right? Just chemical reactions, that's all.
I mean, it just implies a certain randomness to life itself
Yes.
that it's easy to get kind of like lost in that when we see like terrible things happening, because we want there to be a reason, and we want there to be, I don't need there to be a purpose for suffering,
Yeah.
but we want there to be a resolution to suffering.
Yeah.
But to think about it in this random,
We'll talk about resolutions in a second. But, you know, people's, like, the constituent statement of not believing in karma is saying, why did this happen to me? Or why did this happen to this person who didn't deserve it? And that disappears once you start to understand that there's no such thing as, there's no difference, there's no line between you and anything else. It's not happening to you. It's happening somewhere. You think that you are there, but it's just happening somewhere.
yeah. But if we're all one thing,
It's just happening.
I mean, it's kind of like, why is the suffering happening to these people who didn't deserve it? Is kind of like the same question of like, why are we here at all? Like, fine, like, we didn't have to exist. We just happened.
Mm-hmm. So, Francie, if the world is random and not just from the perspective of an individual person, how is it possible to ever help anyone? Because then good things are happening to good people. How do you explain that? You know, your theory has to explain both things. Why bad things happen to good people and why good things happen to good people.
Okay, so so things start happening to you when you're very young. Things start happening to you before you're born. Things start happening to you the moment that you're born. Skin to skin contact in the first like seconds of being alive is so important into like the person that you become.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have a point.
Very good, by the way.
You're growing up. You say you get whacked around in the head accidentally when you're like 2, or you get spooked really bad when you're like 1.
Who among us?
Changes your brain. Changes something in your brain. You have a traumatic childhood. You have some complex trauma. You get bullied. Whatever. All of these things start happening to you from that moment that you start to exist. And these things either get healed or they don't get healed. This affects how you're able to handle all of the other things that keep happening to you throughout your life. So, you develop ways of looking at the world and ways of handling all of these things based on how you were able to get through the things that happened before. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, say you have really bad things happening to you when you're a kid, and it affects you in the way that you end up having a certain type of empathy and having a certain type of awareness that leads you to impact your community in a certain way and sort of like have a lot of empathy and awareness. I'm thinking about Betty from Ugly Betty. That's kind of like her story arc, is she has this incredible empathy and awareness because of all of the adversity that she faced.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, what could happen is like you have a lot of bad things happen to you, and you become like hardened, and you become mean, and you become maybe like you end up doing bad things to other people. But maybe it's you become Mark Zuckerberg, where you don't get treated right, and maybe some things happen to you, and your brain develops in a certain way. You don't treat people well. They get really rich. And all of the things that happen to you in your life set you up to be able to get really rich and not treat people well. Okay, so I've kind of set up different channels of different roads of life that can happen to you that affect the way you're able to handle things based on all the things that happened to you before, and all the things that happened to your parents, and all the things that happened to your grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the question.
The question was...
But that's my answer.
Yeah. The question was, how do you explain good things happening to good people? And the specific question was, how do you help someone? How does anyone help anyone else in the world that bad things happen to good people? If it's all random, how does anybody ever help anybody?
Well, I think that you have empathy, and that leads you to make different decisions than if you had a different level of empathy. Like,
So let's say that you, yeah, I agree. So let's say that you make, can you come up with an example of somebody helping someone else?
yeah. Do you want it?
Yes, please. I would love that.
There's so many examples. Someone drops something on the ground
Yeah.
and you pick it up
Yep.
and give it back to them.
Okay. So tell me about the ray of cause and effect in that situation. Follow the ray with your beautiful words.
Wallet drops. Person sees. Person thinks, I could pick that up and give it back to them very easily. It might even make me feel good, and it might make them feel good. Picks it up, gives it back to the person. They say thank you. You say you're welcome, and you keep going.
So let's say
I actually think in that situation, the person who picked it up would feel a lot better.
right. So
Probably
let's say
affected
that
them
you
way
don't
more.
feel better. That let's say that you're just
Who?
it doesn't affect you, the person who picked up the wallet.
Okay.
Is the ray still traveling?
Yeah. I think that's why you do good things. Because you don't have to feel good about it. Wait, that didn't make sense.
It didn't make
I
sense.
thought it was
Very
going
good. Very good. Is the ray
I think
still
that-
traveling if you don't feel good about it?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You did
Where
the
is
thing.
the ray? Where is the ray then? What is it affecting? It's a long
The other
series of
person.
effects. Okay, tell me about that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just tell me about that. How does it affect them?
They're like, oh, that was nice.
Okay. Then where does the ray go?
I don't know. It's not a very good example because I feel like when
It's a
someone does
great
something for you
It's a great example, I think.
I'm like, if I dropped something and someone picked it up and gave it back to me, I don't know if that would affect me for more than like 2 seconds.
Yes. Yes, this is important. So where's the ray?
I guess it stops.
Yes. So you helped somebody. Someone had a problem. Random. Not fair. It's not fair. It's not just. Someone had a problem and you helped them. And if you aren't affected by it, the ray stops. The karma is tied up. This is why Buddhists say that you should help someone without any expectations. It's connected to that idea anyway.
I don't get that. What is wrong with if it makes people like do more good things for people? What does it
I'm not
matter if
saying-
they felt good about it?
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying this is what happens if it doesn't affect you, the person who picked it up, and if it doesn't affect you, the person who dropped it. Then the ray is gone. We'll decide at the end if it's
What?
good or bad.
Okay, then sure, I understand what you're saying.
Let's say that it really affected you, the person who picked up the wallet. Tell me a little bit about that, about how it might affect you.
Well, I feel like this is not a good example because
It's a great example. Trust yourself, or trust me. I really think so.
well, I honestly think anytime you're connecting with someone, anytime you're having an experience with someone that is not normal for you, it just changes you.
Okay.
So it doesn't
How does it?
necessarily have
How
to
do you think
be.
it would change you? Give me the paths. Give me the options for if you pick up the wallet and it affects you.
Well, it's like it changes your whole demeanor. Like, it's like I hate this. I feel like this is dumb.
Why do you feel like it's dumb? Tell me about that.
Because it's like, it's such a small thing.
Oh, but it isn't.
I get so annoyed when I have to think about like my own self doing good things. It just annoys me so much.
What annoys you about it?
I'm like, ew, stop.
Tell me about that.
But I
if
don't
you
know
want
how
to.
to.
I think that's
I don't
very
want
interesting.
to.
You don't want to?
But I'm trying to think about like someone doing that for someone. I don't know, something about this example that's just like very annoying to me. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
I want to know, like, why?
It just feels so mean. It's so like, I don't know.
Because if it does affect you, if it like really affects you as the person who picked up the wallet, there are like, it could have like effects on you that we're not really okay with having. Like you feel like, oh yeah, I'm such a good person, I did this. And sometimes people aren't okay with feeling that way.
I guess I'm just like, it's so easy to do that.
I think you're right to feel that. I think that you're noticing that the idea of this affecting you positively as the wallet picker-upper is unhealthy somehow.
But that's annoying because what people should do good things. It doesn't matter. And why is it bad to feel good about it?
I don't know that it's bad. You think that it's bad, which is fine. I think you have a point. I think you have a good point. So what happens is the ray keeps going either way, right? Like either way, whether it's good or bad, if it affects you, the ray doesn't stop. If it doesn't affect you, it doesn't affect the person whose wallet you picked up, the ray stops. But if it affected you, or if it affected them profoundly, the ray keeps bouncing. Maybe. Now let me ask you a question. I'll paint you a scenario. Let's say that you've always thought of yourself as an unhelpful, ungrateful person. You've always thought of yourself as someone who, wants everyone to do everything for you, never helps other people. And then you pick up the wallet just because you just see a wallet and you pick it up and hand it back. You just pick it up because you're like, why not? I just saw this person's wallet drop. And then it's affecting you because you're like, wait a second. I'm not the person I thought I was, maybe. I'm actually like a helpful person. Tell me, what's going on there in the ray analogy?
Well, if you're like Mark Zuckerberg and you never I don't know if Mark Zuckerberg never does anything for anyone, but if you're like this picture of Mark Zuckerberg that I've invented, or he's really rich and doesn't do anything, or we could just say a rich person who doesn't do anything for anyone, and you pick up something on the street and you give it back to the person and it affects you, it might change your behavior going forward.
How? And
what if that ray continues into the future of that person like giving their money away?
Yeah. So here's the crazy thing, Francie.
Other people.
I think that what's actually happening there is a different ray is stopping. Someone did something to you to make you unhelpful, not the kind of person who's giving. And then when you make the choice to pick up the wallet, it's not that it's affecting you. It sort of is in a sense, but mostly what's happening is that some other ray is no longer affecting you.
It's like, this is why I say I don't believe in evil.
Right.
No one is no one does things because of the way that they are.
Sure. But
No
in
one
this
is
case,
born evil.
in this case, if you pick up the wallet and then you start doing good things for other people because you've realized that you can be a giving person, that's tied up another karma. A different ray has like stopped. Does that make sense? You've broken a cycle for yourself or for the universe.
I feel like it's not that easy, but I get what you're saying.
Right. It's not that it's just an example. But we could see, you know, the rich people out there. I'm not like ragging on rich people, but just in this example, the rich people out there who don't do anything to help anybody, they've got rays that are sort of bouncing around in their lives. And it is having profound effect on the world, right? Because that's what happens. Like, karma has effects. It's affecting the world. And then, if they start to make the right decisions, then that karma stops because you just start, like you said, like exactly like you said, it's just normal to pick up the wallet. But these rich people are not metaphorically picking up wallets. They're leaving wallets on the ground all the time. It's just like the natural state is just you pick up the wallet and you hand it back and it's over. It doesn't affect anybody. But these people are not picking up the wallet because this karma is still bouncing around in their lives.
Right.
So, I'll ask you again, how do you help people? Characterize in a karmic sense how you help someone. That question might be insane. Tell me if you think it's insane.
Well, no, I mean, I feel like you do things that you wouldn't normally do.
Well, not necessarily, because you normally
For other
pick up
people.
wallets.
And it usually doesn't affect the way I feel.
Right. But you're still helping someone.
This is metaphorical, obviously.
Yeah. But you're
I
still
feel like you
helping
have
someone.
to go outside of your comfort zone.
No, Francie, no. Because when you pick up a wallet, even if it doesn't affect you, it is helping someone. This is what I'm asking. Tell me the karmic nature of you helping someone, even though it's something that you almost like often do.
It's like you.
Go for it.
Like there's the scene in Avatar: The Last Airbender where Zuko and Aang are going to try to figure out how to firebend because Zuko like has only ever firebended using his anger and like his passion, but he's now working with Aang. So he has to teach Aang how to firebend, but he's like, I kind of don't know how to do it anymore because I've always used my anger to get my power from that. And I don't want to do that anymore. So they go on this journey to find like a different way of firebending that's based around like the idea that fire is like life and fire is like energy. And so they have to go on this journey where they have to take this fire, this flame in their hands and take it up like this mountain to meet like these dragons. And Aang is like, my fire went out. Like, give me some of yours. Give me some of yours. So it's kind of like that. It's like you have this fire and you don't need like all of it. I forget the question again. You have a fire in your hands. You don't need all of it. You can give some to someone else so they can be warm.
Tell me about that in terms of karma, in terms of causes and effects, in terms of the ray of effect.
You're giving something to someone else. They have it now. They can use it now.
What are you giving?
A thing.
Because in the wallet example, If it didn't affect them, you're not giving them anything. Nothing karmic. You're just giving them.
But then you're saying the ray stops. If it doesn't
Yeah.
affect either person, you're saying that.
Yes. And if it affected the picker-upper in a positive way, that also involves a ray stopping. So if the picker-upper is helped, that is also a ray that stops. So what is the karmic nature of helping someone?
Like, okay, healing something versus
Very good.
healing something versus hurting something.
Sure. So what is healing something from a karmic perspective?
Like you're resolving some problem. Like you have like something is dissonant and
Yeah.
you find the resolution to
Yeah. You're resolving a karma. The dropped wallet is a karma. A ray is cast. And then
Oh, so it's just really short.
it's really short, exactly. But it's a beautiful example.
Right.
Because the ray is cast and the ray is stopped.
Yeah, okay. So if there's a bigger example,
But
like
the
I'm thinking
karmic,
about this thing.
yeah, tell me in a second. I just want to tie this up. The karmic nature of helping someone is stopping a ray of karma.
But multiple rays can be present in one small interaction, is
Yeah.
also what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
There's this thing that this guy said to me on the street like months and months ago that I still think about all the time, and it like changed my life.
What was it?
He said like, don't stop smiling. Like, can make the sun come out. Basically.
How did it change your life? Or in what way did it change your life? Did it change your life for the better?
Yeah, I was like, I want people to feel good. I don't know. I was like, that was so nice. You didn't have to say that.
So, did that create a ray or did it stop a ray? I'm curious what your perception is.
Well, it can be both, right? That's what you're saying. I mean,
I think that they can both be present in an interaction, sure. But what was going on with that interaction?
that really felt like he was handing me something and saying, what are you going to do with this thing? Like charging up a battery.
Yeah. So this is tricky because it feels like almost contrary to what we just talked about, right? We've been talking about bad things and resolutions, which is the end point of a ray, and that's how you help somebody. But how do we understand this then? We can, by the way.
I don't understand anything. This is a perfect example of like feeling like the world is so unfair, because it's like, why do I feel like it tends to be the people who have gone through the most unnecessary bullshit
Yeah.
who make other people's lives better.
Well, let me ask you something, Francie. What did he give you? I could say what I thought I heard if you don't want to try to spell it out again.
Okay.
He sort of empowered you with an ability that you didn't necessarily know you had. And once you realized you had it, you were like, I want to use this.
Okay. So maybe in a sense it was resolving something
Maybe.
from the past.
I don't know. That's subjective. Like, I want to know what you think about that.
It's not as cut and dry as like the wallet thing.
It's not. That's because there is a third character in this movie, or maybe a second character.
Okay, so but let's just think about it in terms of like someone says something nice to someone else.
No. Let's think about it in terms of this. Or you could, I mean, we could also think about your way. This has the new character that we haven't named yet.
Okay.
And the question is, what did he give you?
Is that the third character?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's karma. And then there's like, what am I going to do with it?
Yes, very good.
Right?
I hadn't said that,
Okay,
but that's
so
beautifully put.
it's like, it's almost like he gave me it was like a duty. I don't know if this is where you're going, but it's like, it was like an opportunity to like, you can't have this forever.
Yeah, beautifully put, Fritzy. You're just killing it. I can't even, like, I'm not trying to fluff you up. I can't even describe how much you're killing it. So he felt like he gave you a duty. That duty took the, what's the word? Subjective form of what exactly? Like, what did it feel like when he said that? Zoom in.
It was like a mirror.
What did you see?
Myself.
And therefore what? You saw yourself, then what?
I feel like you can't look at yourself without thinking like, what are you going to do?
There's a step before it. You look in the mirror, and then you feel a sense of duty, but there's something in
You feel
between.
bad. You feel a little fucking bad about yourself.
Tell me about that. What did you think when he said that smile more thing?
I was like, I haven't done anything for you. Nothing meaningful, nothing measurable. Other than exist. And I understand that existing can be enough, but...
Did you want to do more after looking yourself in the mirror?
Yes.
Did you know you wanted to do more before you looked in the mirror?
No.
So you...
Not necessarily.
So what happened when you looked in the mirror?
Like you get punched in the face with like the reality of being alive. Because someone showed you that you are.
Yeah. So you understood something that you didn't understand before.
Right, because I feel like you're kind of on autopilot a lot of the time. Just moving through the world. You're
Yeah.
not like really clued in.
Yeah.
And then something happens and you get clued in. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That's the third character. So the first one is the ray. The second one is the choice. What do I do with this karma that I have? And the third, what do you want to call it? What did you get from this guy?
I still don't know what to label it.
Throw a word out there. Your brain will not pick the wrong word.
You got a job.
You didn't get the job from him, we'll be precise. You got the reality.
Love that I picked the wrong word.
No, because it's the right word. We're just not there yet. Like, I've got a word for the job too. It is the right word. It is the right word.
You got a fucking write up.
Yeah. You got understanding, right? You got a realization.
Well, I was thinking
you said
that
reality.
you haven't been doing your job.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. So the ray is karma. The choice is yoga, is the word for that, actually. The understanding is jnana. The reality is jnana. And the duty, or the thing that the punched in the face with the thing that you haven't been doing, that thing, that understanding of your responsibility is dharma. Dharma.
Yeah. I thought we were going to get there, but
Yeah. Because you didn't realize that you should have been smiling. You sort of maybe told yourself that, but you realized that you could have been smiling.
I wasn't even thinking about this smile.
Yeah. And he
I was just
taught you
thinking
something.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, you learned something.
Yeah. I mean, I think I learned that I would rather be checked in than be checked out. And I think it's important for me to feel engaged in what's going on around me. But I think that's like more specific than we're really trying to go.
No, Francie. That's yoga chitta vrutta nirodha. That's, I use the word choice. It's also sometimes translated as union, is the cessation of fluctuations in the mind. In other words, choice comes from being present.
Yeah. And I almost feel like this guy has become this human being has become such a important compass in my life. It's like if I'm able to interact with him day to day, is if I'm willing to be present in life.
Right.
Is if I'm willing and able to have an interaction with him, because I know it will be like looking in a mirror. And sometimes it's just I'm not willing to look.
So this is tricky, but I'm going to try to guess how this fits in with the ray, because it really feels it feels to me like it feels to you like he's creating rays. But right, isn't that how you experience it? Like he's giving you something. He's like doing something to you.
We have a back and forth. I think that there is an interaction there. It's not a one-way train.
But he's doing
trains are
things that have
definitionally
consequences,
one-way.
and the rays are being cast. Is that how you experience it, or not?
Right, but I'm also creating rays
Yeah.
back.
So, but the thing
It's
that I want
almost
to...
like...
Yeah, go ahead. No, I want to hear.
No, I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say.
The thing that I wanted to understand is we were conceptualizing helping somebody as rays stopping, and yet he's helping you some of the time, and he's definitely creating like chains of cause and effect. He's definitely creating these rays.
With this particular interaction, yes. right? I don't.
Well, there's a weird thing that's happening here because he's casting the rays, and sometimes you're not ready to hear them, and it like changes. It like might make your day worse or something like that. Like if you're just not there for hearing them right then. But then sometimes
Yeah,
he really spits, right?
Well, yeah, it's like it's.
Sometimes he really cooks.
We don't have to. We don't have to be even just thinking about this one individual. Like, this is how it happens when you're willing to have conversations with people, period. Like, any interaction is like, sometimes you're not, like, I guess I'm trying to not focusing so much on this one person is kind of making me feel bad, because I'm like, he's a real person. He's not just like a thing in my life.
No, he doesn't sound like... That's not how you were painting it. He's trying... And in fact, I could talk for a second and say what I think is going on here. But he is trying to do something. He's not like a guru NPC. He's trying to like do something. And the thing
Yeah,
that
I think he's trying to. Okay, sorry.
No, I really want to know what you think it is more than what I think it is.
I think he's trying to connect with people.
Yeah.
Because people don't interact with people that they see on the street. They just don't. And everyone is always just... Everyone in this world is like trying to connect with people.
Yeah.
And so I think he's trying to connect with me.
Tell me how you think
He's trying to be
connection
friends.
works in terms of the ray.
I think that when you're willing to connect with someone, you're picking up their wallet.
Great. I'm going to ask the same question again. I think you're there, just restated in terms of the ray.
You're like... You're throwing out a ray, and then it's getting ended.
Yes!
You know, it's
Exactly what I was
you're
thinking.
doing a full loop.
Yeah. That's crazy. So even though he's throwing out rays, when they stop, there's a moment of connection, and sometimes you learn something. Is that fair? So,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what teaching is. Is you try to... Well, okay, that's one thing that teaching can be. Is you try to create a ray that will stop at a student. Because that's helping them. Anytime a ray stops, it's helping someone.
Oh. Okay.
So far, in all the examples that we've thought of. I don't know
Well,
that
see,
that's...
okay.
I don't
So-
know that
so
that's
thinking
universally true.
Thinking about things like in black and white terms of whatever, it's like, it seems like if someone's experiencing suffering, then that means there's some ray that has not stopped. There's some karma that's in progress, period. Right? That is suffering.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Correct?
Sounds reasonable to me.
Right. Okay, so karma, this karmic process ending, must therefore follow that is good. That is someone feeling something that is good, that is not suffering. So I think what you're saying makes sense.
Did it feel good when he said that thing about you smiling?
Yeah.
Did it feel good immediately? Was it only good? Were there any shades of gray to that emotion? I realize I'm pushing you towards one answer. The way you described it and what I suspect is that there was a tinge of that process that felt bad.
No, I don't actually think that's true. I think looking back on it feels rotten a little bit because I'm like, what the fuck have I done that's good for anyone? But I think maybe that is just
That's what I meant.
a little bit.
That's what I meant.
Right, but in the moment, I was like beaming for like the rest of the
Okay,
day.
so it's the other way around then. You felt the bad later, but it didn't feel good. It wasn't like it wasn't good.
I'm confused.
I said the last part
Also,
to confuse you.
just focusing on these examples from my own life is super hard for me.
Why?
I just have a lot of trouble with like thinking about like right and wrong.
Yeah, so we're not trying to think about right and wrong necessarily. It's just that we're thinking about what the effects were of what happened. Like, what were the outcomes and what were the effects on people, on things, on the world?
Well, I think that
We can call them good in
When
hindsight,
someone-
but we just got to figure out what they are.
when someone gives you, when you have a moment like that with someone, and you don't feel like you're doing enough to like even out the balance of the world, it feels bad. When someone does something good for you and you don't feel like you've done enough good for others, that doesn't feel good.
Okay, so
And
you
I'm
got to
starting
be
to think more
precise,
and more.
because there's two things that might be going on here. One is that there was a reason that you feel like you should do more. That's like another karma that's bouncing around in your life. Or you realize that you could be doing more in the future, and that's like responsibility that's weighing down on you.
Yeah, or both.
I guess it could be both.
And I'm starting to think more and more that this is all that ethics really is.
I'm not going to get any more than that.
It's just the way you feel about the things that have happened to you, the choices you've made, the choices you could make, and like how you want to affect people in the future. It does just come back to, how do I feel about the things that have happened to me? And how do I feel about what I can do with what I have now? But it's all, how do I feel? And this sounds like I'm sad about it, but I'm not.
What do you mean by that?
I think just my tone, because I'm feeling subdued, is like making it seem like I think that's depressing, but I actually don't think that's depressing. I think that's just the way it is. And like, if I didn't have, if someone didn't feel anything,
I totally agree with you. So it's kind of neutral in a way, right? Like, it's not good or bad. Like, if somebody drops their wallet, you pick it up and we just move on. And it's like, It's the reason it's good in a way is because it's not good. It's just like a good world to live in. It's the kind of world we all want to live in. It's not like good.
Want. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the kind of world we all want to live in.
Yeah. And it's just like you have to do your part to make that world.
Yes.
And so what happened with the
But
guy...
it all derives back... Sorry.
No, tell me.
It all drives back to how we feel.
Yeah, because when the guy said that you could, change the world by smiling more, you sort of realized that you could change the world by smiling more.
I don't think I've never once taken it like that. He
I
actually
was
said you can make the sun
being
come up.
Well, I was being hyperbolic, but
Never forget that.
yeah.
I've never once thought about it like that. I've only ever thought about it like, this person did something nice for you. What the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
I've never once thought about the actual thing that he said. It's not how I took it at all.
So, why do bad things happen to good people?
Because they do. Because they did. Because they already did. It's like... Because something bad happened to them before that made it harder for them to deal with the bad thing that happened to them after.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just...
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. I was going to put it only slightly differently, just move some words. Because bad things happen to good people, because bad things happened. Bad things happened to good people because bad things happened. And
yeah.
If you have a choice to prevent something bad from happening to a good person, it won't.
Yeah, I mean, are there good and bad people?
Sure.
Not fundamentally.
I don't know. But the reason I say sure is because of the veracity that people feel, why do bad things happen to good people? People who are wondering that really understand good people and bad people, and I just kind of trust them.
I think the question... Okay, so if I'm thinking, why did this bad thing happen to this good person? My question is really, why did this person do this bad thing? It's like...
Sometimes.
Right. Well, I'm thinking, I guess I'm whatever. But it's like... My question seems to more than likely be, why would this person do this?
Sometimes it's not, right? Sometimes they're just natural disasters, or someone gets cancer. But the thing about natural disasters and getting cancer is there's so many things that humans can do to help with that, or the aftermath, or anything. And so this is why I say, bad things happen to good people because bad things happen. And if you have the choice to prevent something bad from happening to someone, it won't. So it's not necessarily that bad things happen to good people because people do bad things. It's because we know that a ray stopping is always a good thing. So good things happen to good people because people do good things. Because people... No, not even that. It's because, yeah, sure. But those good things take the form of paying a cost for someone else.
Yeah.
Including, by the way, for future you. Right? Waking up with all the dishes done is a good thing that happened to you, even if you did it the night before.
Yeah.
Questions?
It's just crazy. My brain is not really set up to think that me doing good things for myself could make things better for other people. But that's essentially what you're saying in a way.
Yeah,
is
in
that
a
it
way.
Could.
What might help you to understand it is maybe even think about it like you can't do a good thing. You can pay a karmic debt that's been given to you. Seeing a wallet drop from someone's pocket is a karmic debt. That's a ray is a karmic debt, and you can pay that. So it's not doing a good thing. You can't really do a good thing. You can pay a karmic debt.
So then, our ethics, R-A-R-E, ethics, based on just our intuition.
I don't think so. I think they're based on learning patterns of what's typically paying a cost. And
I
what's
think that
typically
that's
creating
not
a ray.
different from what I said.
Really? Then I didn't understand
Intuition
something.
is learned. I mean, intuition is not magic.
Okay, so if we say that intuition is learned, then I agree.
Okay. Somehow that does not make me feel better. Because I do not trust my intuition.
Don't.
Never have.
Because I'm not sure that it's intuition. Don't trust your intuition if you don't. Like, that's okay.
Well, but we are saying the same thing.
I don't know what intuition is.
Patterns. Well, I think your intuition is your understanding of the way things play out in the world based on patterns that you have seen and that you have learned in the past.
Yeah, so don't try to trust your intuition then. This is what I'll say. What are your understandings? What are the things that you've learned? Learned in the sense of that guy taught you the power of your smile, apparently. You have a great smile. And then what are the karmic debts that you can pay? You don't have to be intuitive about this. What do you wake up and have? You know what I mean? You don't have to answer that, but like this is how you figure this out. It doesn't have to be intuitive. I
don't get how we're saying different things. Maybe we're just thinking about intuition differently.
I think so. If I saw that Indeed job posting and didn't do everything I could reasonably do to try to get the job, that would have been not paying a karmic debt. Seeing it is a karmic debt, and being a teacher is a karmic debt. Even, being the kind of weird teacher that I am is a karmic debt. And so, like, going for it is paying that debt, because otherwise, like, potentially, a qualified person wouldn't be doing this. And that would create lots of karma in lots of ways. Because then, the programs might have been worse, assuming that I do a good job, right? Then the programs might have been worse. And that would have had effects on kids, and then that would have started all kinds of cycles of rays, all kinds of rays bouncing all over the place. So just figure out what the debts are. You don't have to be intuitive about it.
Right. But you have to be specific about it.
Sure.
I think just generally kind of saying, there's all these debts. I need to pay them off. What am I doing with my life is not helpful.
Why not? That sounds very helpful.
Because you're not actually making a decision to do anything. You're not actually thinking about like,
Oh, so
what
you
is an
ask yourself,
action that
what
I
am I
can
doing
take?
with my life? And you don't answer it. Is that what
Yes.
you meant? Yeah, that doesn't sound helpful. But
Yes.
like, yeah, if you just said that, I have all these debts, I got to pay them. What am I doing with my life? And then you just say like, okay, what are you doing with your life?
Right, but you have to answer the question. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get to like a point that might help someone. Is like if you're just kind of down in the dumps thinking like I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing anything with my life,
Yeah.
you have to answer the question. Like, and you have to kind of get specific about that. You have to kind of think,
Yeah.
What-
One way
what
that
is
I like
actually, what am I actually capable of doing?
yeah. One way that I like to
What
phrase
is a debt?
yes. One way that I
That
like
I
to
could-
phrase what a debt, like help people understand what a debt is asking them what they want. Typically, wanting something is a ray. Typically, wanting something is a karmic debt.
Yeah.
So this is one way to figure it out.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're just so
so
bored.
No, I'm just sleepy.
You know, like, let's say that you want kids, or let's say that you want a partner, or you want a better job, or you want to move. All of these things are debts.
Yeah.
Also, debts are also debts.
Yeah.